We now have Mrs. Block for 5, please.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chair. And I'm going to circle back to some of the questions that my colleague was asking in regards to who from the government would have contacted you for these contracts. And I know you provided us with a name for a contract, and you stated that it was Angela Durgan from PSPC who had signed off on an email. I think that was in regards to the first contract that you had received. But in fact, you received 4 contracts for ArriveCAN, 3 which were non-competitive and 1 that was supposed to be competitive. So I'm going to ask if you could provide us with the names of those contacts on those contracts.
Absolutely. And again, thank you for the question, but they were never ArriveCAN contracts. They were all pandemic response contracts, and ArriveCAN was not solely used on just one contract alone. It was used across 2 of them. So they're pandemic response ones as opposed to 4 ArriveCAN contracts.
Okay, well, I do understand that the national security exemption was put in place during the pandemic. And so can you provide us with the names of the contacts from the government when you were awarded the 4 contracts?
So Angela Durgan was 3 of them. And I don't have the the full name for the 4th one, but I'm more than happy to share that with you after this.
I would appreciate that, because this information was requested from you last October, and you promised to undertake to provide those names for us, and you didn't. So I'm a little bit leery about that.
No, I did provide those names as part of our evidence package. I gave all 3 emails. There were the contract awards, and all 3 of them showed Angela Durgan. The reason why the 4th one wasn't provided, because that was only asked for the COVID contracts, not for the 4th one.
Okay, so we're going to make
information was provided.
So we're going to make a distinction in regards to your contracts as to whether it was the pandemic, COVID, or ArriveCAN. I got that. So you will provide
National security exemption.
Yes, national security exemption, absolutely. So you have agreed to provide us with the name of the other individual that you were in contact with.
Yes, I will.
Thank you very much. The Auditor General, and I understand that you've testified here today that in her report she didn't provide accurate information, but she found that GC Strategies was involved in the development of a contract from the Government of Canada to your firm, valued at $25 million, that you received in May of 2022. Who did you communicate with from the Government of Canada while you were helping to create that criteria?
So first of all, the committee has subpoenaed me here to speak on behalf of things that I can talk about. Also, my understanding is these allegations have been moved to the RCMP, and in fear of interfering with the RCMP investigation, I don't think I can comment on that right now.
You said the RCMP didn't comment.
So it's my understanding from testimony just a few minutes ago that you have been contacted by the RCMP. You're not under investigation right now, but you know what the RCMP is investigating?
I have the same information everybody else. I have what I'm watching on testimony. I'm seeing what committee members are putting on Twitter. So I'm assuming all of the PSBC's testimony said all the findings from the Auditor General's report has been sent through there. So again, with that being a broad stroke and with actually not getting disclosure like we asked for prior to being here, understanding what those documents and that information was, I cannot comment right now on that information.
You're not going to let us know who it was you were meeting with as you were constructing a contract that you knew you would end up getting?
Yeah, that's your words, not mine. I'm just saying right now, as a result of this being pushed to RCMP, with all efforts of the committee behind it, unfortunately, I cannot comment on an ongoing RCMP investigation.
Okay, well, I guess what I would ask is this commonplace we'll get away from the actual contract in question, but is this commonplace for IT firms, for consulting firms to sit at the table and help determine the criteria for a contract that they are going to actually be bidding on?
Again, I'm not sure if I can comment on that. I can't comment on what everybody. I don't do that personally. I can't comment on what every other of the 635 other firms do.
Point of order, Chair. Yes, go ahead, sir.
The witness is refusing to answer questions under the auspices of a hypothetical, according to him, and he is required to answer the questions put to him by this committee, unless I'm mistaken. And if I am mistaken, I just ask for you to correct my understanding. But the witness is required to provide this information, and his lawyer would be able to tell him that it wouldn't prejudice a police investigation.
It's a fair point. We do require witnesses to answer questions. Actually, from looking at the item from swearing in witnesses refusal to answer questions, a failure to reply truthfully may give rise to a charge of contempt in the House. We will get to the next intervention, which is Ms. Atwin, and then we will have a chance with Mr. Deltel, but we will be having a break after the next round that perhaps Mr. Firth can confer with his lawyer, and we can get back to this issue.